At 45, I lost everything I had. My husband betrayed me with my best friend. My boss fired me, and all the strength I had left was spent crying on the bathroom floor. That's when I bought a one-way ticket to Argentina. The countless challenges changed my life forever. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible stories like this. Sitting on the cold wooden floor of my empty apartment, I felt like my whole world was literally falling apart. How could everything have gone so wrong? Everything I had so carefully built over the years had crumbled in an instant. My job, my friends, but most painfully, the man I loved. He betrayed me. How could he? How could my best friend do this to me? Had all these years been in vain? Empty? They laughed behind my back, and I noticed nothing. My mind couldn't cope with that pain, with that betrayal. A dark and terrifying divorce process loomed ahead of me, like a cloud ready to burst with rain. All those savings I had accumulated for our future would now go to lawyers, court fees, division of property. How did this even happen? How did I end up here, in this emptiness, alone, with no plan for the future? Tears welled up in my throat, but I didn't even have the strength to cry. I was too tired, too exhausted to resist this wave of despair that was crashing over me from all sides. All my dreams, all my plans, they simply turned to dust. And now what? Is there even a point in fighting? Suddenly, the phone ringing pulled me out of these heavy thoughts. "Hello, Sophia." My lawyer's voice came through the line, clear and emotionless. "I've reviewed your case, and we need to discuss a few important details." The words washed over me, like he was speaking another language. What do they all want from me? Fight? For what? Why? I felt a strange feeling growing inside me, a desire to run away, to disappear. "Sophia, are you listening?" My lawyer's voice snapped me back to reality. "Yes, I'm listening," I said, but I no longer had any desire to resolve anything. "Mark," I interrupted, "I don't want any of this anymore. Let him take whatever he wants. I don't care." I could almost hear him sigh on the other end of the line, realizing there was no point in arguing with me. "All right, I'll take care of it," he finally replied. "Thank you," I whispered and hung up, feeling nothing. What now? I couldn't stay here, in this dead space filled with ghosts of the past. I opened my laptop and started searching for tickets. Argentina. Far away. Very far away. Without hesitation, I clicked the button and bought a one-way ticket. What awaited me there, I didn't know. But something told me it was exactly what I needed, that I had to disappear today as soon as I arrived in Argentina. I made my way to the shore, drawn by the sound of the waves. I sat there, my suitcase by my side, staring out at the endless horizon. That I closed my eyes, letting the sound of the ocean calm my racing thoughts. What now? Where was I supposed to go from here? Suddenly, I heard footsteps in the sand. I opened my eyes and saw a woman approaching me. She had a warm smile and kind eyes. "Hola," she greeted, her voice gentle. "Are you all right?" I hesitated, then surprised myself by starting to speak. I don't know. I just got here. I'm not sure what I'm doing." She introduced herself as Violetta and sat down beside me, listening as I told her everything. She didn't interrupt, just nodded and listened, and somehow it felt good to let it all out. When I finished, she offered me something I hadn't expected. "You can stay with me for a while," she said, her voice full of kindness, "until you figure things out." I looked at her, surprised by the generosity of a stranger. "Thank you." The next few days, Violetta was incredibly helpful, showing me around and helping me get settled into my new life. With her help, I found a job at a small beach bar nearby. The work was simple, serving drinks and clearing tables. But it kept my mind busy, which was exactly what I needed. Point one evening, after a long day of work, I was wiping down the bar when I noticed Martine, one of the regulars, lingering nearby. He had a warm, friendly smile that made him instantly likable. He approached me with that same easygoing manner I had come to recognize. "Hey, Sophia," he said, leaning casually against the bar. "You're doing a great job here. Everyone's been talking about how quickly you've settled in." I smiled, feeling a bit of pride. "Thanks, Martine. It's been a nice distraction, you know? Sometimes that's all you need." We stood in comfortable silence for a moment, listening to the waves in the distance. Then Martine's eyes lit up as if he had just thought of something. "Have you ever tried tango?" he asked. "Tango? No, I haven't. I'm not much of a dancer, honestly." "Well, you're in Argentina now, so you have to give it a try at least once. How about I teach you? Right here, right now." I hesitated, feeling a bit shy. "I'm not sure I'd be any good at it." He chuckled, waving off my concern. "No worries. It's not about being good. It's about feeling the music, letting go, and having fun. Come on, it'll be just us." His enthusiasm was infectious, and before I knew it, I was nodding. "All right, let's do it." Martine led me to a small clearing just outside the bar, where the sand met the pavement. The evening was warm, the sky painted in shades of pink and orange as the sun set over the ocean. "Okay, first things first," he said, taking my hand gently. "Just relax and follow my lead. Tango is all about connection, so just feel the rhythm and trust me." He began to move slowly, guiding me through the basic steps. His hand was steady on my back. "See? You're doing great. This is actually fun." Martine laughed, spinning me gently before pulling me back in. "Told you. And you're a natural." As I caught my breath, my eyes wandered back towards the bar, and that's when I saw her. Violetta was standing in the doorway, watching us. She looked cold, almost disapproving. That IT was the first time I had seen her so unfriendly, and it sent a shiver down my spine. I couldn't shake the feeling that something had gone wrong, that MY days in Argentina felt like a step toward healing. The rhythm of the tango, the warmth of the sun, and the simple routine of work helped me feel like life was slowly returning to me. However, something else started to shift. Violetta, who had been so kind and welcoming when I first arrived, began to change. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I felt a growing distance between us. One night, I returned home late. But as I approached the house, I noticed something that made my heart drop. My belongings were scattered outside the door. I knocked, hoping there was some kind of mistake. But when Violetta opened the door, her expression was icy. "You need to leave," she said without any explanation. "Violetta, what's going on? Why are you doing this? I've seen how you are with Martine. I can't have you here anymore." The realization hit me like a punch to the gut. She saw me as a rival, someone who might take Martine's attention away from her. Without another word, she closed the door. That I spent that night on the beach, the waves crashing softly in the background as I lay on the sand, feeling the familiar sting of betrayal. First my husband, now Violetta. It seemed like I was destined to be abandoned by those I trusted. The next morning, I went to the bar, hoping for some solace in work, only to be told by the manager that my services were no longer needed. IT felt like my world was crumbling all over again. With no other options, I knew I had to let go of the past completely. I gathered all my jewelry and designer dresses, the last remnants of my old life, and took them to the local market. Selling them brought in enough money to start over. With the money I earned, I rented a small piece of land from an old man on the other side of the island. I wanted to be as far away as possible from Martine, from the bar, from everything that reminded me of my recent pain. As I handed over the money to the old man, he studied me with a thoughtful expression. "You've been through a lot, haven't you?" "Yes, I have. That's why I'm here. I just want to start over, away from everything." He smiled gently, nodding as if he already knew my story. "This land will give you what you need, but you must give it something in return. It's not just about planting crops. It's about planting yourself and letting your roots grow deep. Are you ready for that?" I looked around at the small plot of land. There were no distractions, no memories of what had been, just a blank canvas. The old man motioned for me to follow him. We walked across the land, and he pointed out different spots where the soil was rich and where the sun hit just right. "Here," he said, stopping near a huge tree-shaded area. "This is where you'll meditate. It's important to find stillness, to listen to the land and yourself." I frowned slightly, not used to such concepts. "Meditate? I've never really done that before." He chuckled, a sound like the rustling of leaves. "It's not about doing it right or wrong. It's about being present. Sit here every day, close your eyes, and breathe. Let go of your thoughts and your worries. You'll find that the answers you seek are already within you." "Do you think that will help me?" "I mean, after everything," the old man turned to me. "You've been uprooted, yes, but that doesn't mean you can't grow again. Trust in yourself. Trust in this land. It will heal you, just as you will care for it." "I'll try." The old man nodded, placing a reassuring hand on my shoulder. "That's all you need to do. Just try. The rest will come in time." As I started working on the land, following his advice, I began to find a certain peace in the routine. Each day, I spent time meditating in the shaded spot he had shown me, letting the quiet settle into my soul. But this peace was shattered all too soon. The old man fell ill quite suddenly. His strength, which once seemed unbreakable, began to fade before my eyes. I spent many hours by his side, holding his hand and offering what comfort I could. But deep down, I knew that his time was drawing near. One evening, as the sun dipped low on the horizon, he called me by name. His voice was weak. "Sophia, I have something for you." He handed me a letter, his hand trembling slightly. "Read this after I'm gone. It's my final gift to you." "Thank you," I whispered, my voice catching in my throat. "For everything." He gave me a small, tired smile. "You've given me more than you know," he replied, squeezing my hand gently. "Now, it's time for you to continue the journey on your own." That night, he passed away peacefully in his sleep. The loss hit me hard, leaving an emptiness. After the funeral, I sat in the quiet of my small home, holding the letter he had given me. The letter was brief, but every word carried the weight of his wisdom. "You are ready not only to receive knowledge and wisdom, but also to pass them on to others. Remember the old legend of our people. The soul, like a seed, only blooms when watered with love and faith. True happiness comes when you are ready to plant that seed in someone else's soil and watch it grow." That was a call to live, truly live, with an open heart. As dawn approached, I woke up with a strange yet powerful feeling that I needed to do something important. It was a call of my heart I couldn't ignore. I walked to the ocean, the place I used to share with Martin. When I reached the shore, I saw Martin standing there, his silhouette outlined by the first rays of the sun. We didn't exchange a single word. None were needed. We simply stood there, looking at each other, connected by an unspoken understanding. Then, without thinking, we began to dance. The rhythm of the waves became our music, the soft sand beneath our feet on the dance floor. As the sun rose higher, I found a profound sense of peace, one that wasn't tied to anyone else's approval or expectations. No longer was I afraid of being judged or of making others uncomfortable. This inner calm opened a new path before me, one where I could step forward without hesitation or fear.